Hello Formula One fans, welcome back to our channel, F1 Racing. Attention all racing enthusiasts, it's time to revive your engines and immerse yourself in the current drama unfolding in the world of Formula One. Max Verstappen, one of the most recognizable faces in the sport, has just spoken out against a controversial new format that has been causing chaos on the track, and this has raised the stakes significantly. But things take an unexpected turn when another racing figure takes aim at Verstappen's comments, leaving him feeling humiliated and under fire. This leaves Verstappen feeling under fire and under criticism from others. This is an episode that you won't want to miss, as we analyse the dramatic clash that has everyone in the Formula One community talking, so stay tuned to the end. So before we look at this matter, it's important to have some information about the upcoming Azerbaijan Grand Prix and the new changes. So let's see. Fans of car racing should rev their engines because the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is poised to make some interesting modifications to the format of the sprint weekend. The Formula One Championship has granted the go-ahead to revamp the sport's traditional format and includes some intriguing new additions to the Baku race weekend in order to maintain the sport's reputation for vibrancy and excitement. So what can we expect? The sprint race will now be run as a separate competition and will have its own qualifying session. The session will take place on Saturday, immediately following another qualifying session that will be used to set the starting grid for the sprint race. This indicates that there will continue to be a 1 hour of practice on Fridays, as well as a regular qualifying session for the race that will be held on Sunday. But that's not the end of it. The new qualifying session for the sprint race will take the place of the second practice session, FP2, and it will have a 3-part format, the same as the normal races but with shorter times. As a result of the fact that drivers will probably only have time for 1 lap in Q3, the stakes will be elevated and the entertainment factor will be through the roof. When it comes to the distribution of tyres, each contender will be given 2 sets of hard tyres, 4 sets of medium tyres, and 6 sets of soft tyres for the duration of the competition. Because of how unusual this is from the other Grand Prix races, you can be sure that it will keep things exciting. The Baku City circuit is infamous for its high-speed narrow circuit, which adds an added degree of nerve-wracking stress to the qualifying sessions. As if the modifications weren't enough, the Baku City circuit is notorious for its high-speed course. However, now that these adjustments have been accepted, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix has the potential to produce even more drama and excitement than it did in the past. Max Verstappen has been very open about the reservations he has over the recent alterations that have been made to the regular Formula One calendar. He believes that the constant increase in the amount of work he has to do may cause him to re-evaluate his future in the sport on a more long-term basis. In point of fact, he's already given the impression that he may leave Formula One after the contract he has with Red Bull through 2028 expires. Verstappen has been quite vocal in his disapproval of the new sprint shootout format, which cuts the number of practice sessions down to just 1 and features separate qualifying sessions for the sprint race and the actual race. In addition to this, he has voiced his opposition to the idea of increasing the number of Formula One races to 25, which the influential people in the sport appear eager to see come to fruition. According to Verstappen, the increasing pressures that are being put on drivers are making their jobs more difficult, and it is impossible to overlook the risks that are related to the changes that are occurring in the industry. The problem that he has regarding the most recent alterations are shared by a great number of other motorists, so he is not alone in this viewpoint. It is important to point out that Verstappen is under contract with Red Bull until the year 2028, yet his statement suggests that he may re-evaluate his position if the expectations placed on him continue to grow. Verstappen's remarks prompted Ralf Schumacher, a former Formula One driver and 2-time world champion, to respond by asking Verstappen to either embrace the changes or leave the sport altogether. Schumacher stated that Formula One is far larger than any other person, and he used Bernie Ecclestone's exit from F1 as an example of how the sport can continue to even after a significant character has left it. Schumacher admitted that he agreed with Verstappen over the stress of several restarts during the 2023 Australian Grand Prix. However, ultimately, Schumacher believes that Verstappen should either embrace the adjustments or leave the sport. The statements made by Schumacher come at a time when there is a growing debate over the future of Formula One and the escalating expectations placed on drivers. The sentiments expressed by Verstappen are shared by a large number of other drivers. who believe that the recent regulation changes and the increasing amount of labour are having a negative impact on both their physical and mental health. With a record of 23 races and multiple triple headers held in venues that are not even remotely close to one another, the Formula One Championship has become more difficult than it has ever been. A driver also has obligations away from the track, such as spending time with fans, making appearances in the media, participating in social media, and maintaining a relationship with sponsors. As the sport develops, there will almost certainly be further discussions regarding the new F1 rules and the requirements placed on drivers. It is still unknown whether other drivers will follow Schumacher's example or push back against the growing number of demands placed on them. However, Schumacher is of the opinion that Verstappen should either embrace the adjustments or leave the sport. So Ralf Schumacher, a former driver in Formula One, has recently been in the news for his views about the current course that the sport is taking in response to Max Verstappen's criticisms of the sport's present course. But some of you might not remember him or know about him, so let's talk about his biography and achievements. Born in Germany on June 30, 1975, Michael Schumacher began his racing career in karting. He showed his potential by winning multiple regional and national championships in karting. Schumacher was born in Germany. After that, in 1995, he advanced to Formula 3, where he won the German Formula 3 title in just his second year of competition. He moved up to Formula 3 in 1995. At the age of 22, Michael Schumacher made his debut in Formula One racing in 1997 for the Jordan team. After that, in 1999, he made a move to Williams, which was the beginning of the most successful stretch of his career. He won his maiden race in 2001 at the San Marino Grand Prix, and he went on to win a total of 5 more races over the course of the following 2 seasons, both of which he finished third in the championship standings. After his departure from Williams in 2004, Michael Schumacher competed for Toyota for the next 4 seasons, before calling it quits in Formula One at the end of the 2007 season. During his career, which spanned 11 years, he took part in a total of 180 Grand Prix races, of which he won 6 and finished on the podium 27 times. Following his retirement from competitive racing, Michael Schumacher has transitioned into a variety of professions within the motorsport sector. In addition to his work as a pundit or commentator for several broadcasters, such as Sky Sports Germany and RTL, he has also held positions as a driving coach and consultant for several teams and drivers. Schumacher's comments on Verstappen's critiques of the sport's direction have generated a stir in the F1 community, with some of the community agreeing with his views and others criticising him for being out of touch with the requirements of current F1. His outspokenness and long experience in the sport have made him a renowned character in the F1 world, and his thoughts are frequently sought by fans as well as experts. Despite this, he is a respected figure in the F1 world. But with this news, let's check out what other famous players has to say about these new changes in F1. So let's start with Lewis Hamilton. Before this weekend's Azerbaijan Grand Prix, Formula One world champion Lewis Hamilton voiced his approval of the recently implemented rule modifications. Hamilton has won the Formula One World Championship a record 7 times. In point of fact, he went so far as to proclaim the next weekend to be one of the most exciting of the entire year. Hamilton showed a positive attitude towards observing how the adjustments would play out and expressed excitement about the upcoming race. When asked if he approved of the improvements, Hamilton confirmed his backing, replying, "Absolutely." He admitted that it was going to be difficult for everyone, but he emphasised that they were all in the same boat. He then went on to extol the virtues of the Baku track, which is renowned for its ability to facilitate exciting racing and excellent passing possibilities. On the other hand, Hamilton did admit that the schedule of the weekend would be challenging, as there would only be 1 practice session before qualifying. He made the point that, although it would be challenging to have just 1 session in which drivers could compete roughly 20 laps of practice before moving on to qualifying, it was an essential part of the job to do so as Formula One drivers. On the other hand, Hamilton's primary rival, Max Verstappen, continues to be opposed to the new regulations, especially the sprint race format. The Dutch race car driver has been very open about his disapproval of the new competition format, and he's fought against it in the past. Now, let's see what Fernando Alonso thinks. As a driver for Aston Martin, Fernando Alonso is excitedly expecting the first sprint of the 2023 season, which will take place at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Alonso's team is off to a solid start in the campaign, and they want to keep it going. Alonso is thrilled about the modifications that the new rules will bring about, and he is raring to go after going a few weeks without participating in a race. Alonso remarked that he was happy to be back in competition after taking a break for a few weeks. After such a high adrenaline start to the season, I am now looking forward to Baku because I have been given my batteries a chance to rest. He also said that the track gives a driver a one-of-a-kind challenge since it has a lot of narrow street portions that move at a slow speed and a lot of really long straightaways that move at a very high speed, both of which create lots of potential for risk and reward. Furthermore, he expressed his delight at the return of the sprint this weekend, adding that the race has always been interesting in the past and is sure to be so again, particularly now that there will be 2 qualifying sessions and 2 races. In addition, he stated that he is looking forward to competition in both of these events. After 3 races, we have a better understanding of our car, but we need to pick up where we left off in Australia and keep up the development push over the next few races, he added. After 3 races, we have a better understanding of our car. In general, it appears as though Alonso is looking forward to the opportunities and challenges that the new regulations will provide at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So once again, after Verstappen's previous concerns, he was asked about the upcoming sprint race. Verstappen expressed doubts about the rewards and risks involved in the format, particularly for those at the front of the pack. He suggested that only drivers who are outside of the point standings would try to push for a higher finish, as there wasn't much difference in points between a first, second or third place finish. Verstappen also commented that he didn't believe the new format would be significantly different from previous sprint weekends, except that there may be more chaos due to the extra qualifying. He maintained that the traditional Sunday race format was the best and that he thought the new changes would make a small difference. Verstappen had previously expressed concerns about the sprint format, suggesting that further changes could impact his future in F1. He reiterated these concerns, stating that he believed the traditional way of doing things was the best and that he felt racing should be kept as it is. He also expressed concerns about the length of the F1 season, suggesting the addition of sprint weekends could make the schedule even more busy and potentially unhealthy for drivers. So, to conclude our today's video, we would like to say that the world of Formula 1 is always changing, and the most recent illustration of this trend is the modification of the format of the race weekends. Although some drivers such as Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso have voiced their excitement of the upcoming Azerbaijan Grand Prix and the return of the sprint race, other drivers such as Max Verstappen continue to be doubtful of the new format. Verstappen's recent statement about quitting F1 has caused a stir in the racing world, and only time will tell if he decides to follow through with his threat. Ralf Schumacher, a former Formula 1 driver who is now a TV pundit, is one of those individuals who is contributing to the pressure that has been put on Verstappen. Nevertheless, it is yet unknown how this drama will turn out. In spite of this, Formula 1 fans worldwide will be glued to their televisions as the drivers compete on the track in Baku to see who will emerge victorious in this exciting and unpredictable sport. So that's all from today's video. If you would like this video, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to share this video with your fellow F1 fans. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates and news from the world of Formula 1. So we will be back soon with another exciting video. Till then, take care and bye bye.